What is up, Everyday Athlete Podcast Network listeners? Welcome to the next episode of the Fireside Chat. I have a fantastic guest, Orla McCarville, who will be joining us in a second. And I have just found out that not only are we both runners, but her husband and I went to the same college. She asked me about my favorite sub shop in all of the world, which is in Oswego, New York. For those of you that know, you know. But we'll bring all of that stuff up here in a second. For now, I'm going to do what they always tell me I have to do, and by they, I mean myself, because I'm producing and editing this thing, is be sure to subscribe, rate, review, and comment on the Everyday Athlete Podcast Network on the shows that we have for a few reasons. One, I love talking to you folks about the guests that we have on. Two, I love sending these messages to our guests so that they know that they have had an impact on you and your life and your running. And three, it helps with the algorithms. We don't talk about that stuff too much. Anyhow, that's enough about me and enough about the stuff that we have to do. Let's bring Orla on the show and let's have some fun, shall we? Orla, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Jason?
I am fantastic. I just noticed, is that a pink microphone in front of you?
Oh, it is. It is.
Yes, that is awesome.
Okay.
I love it. That is
colors too.
Yeah, that is so cool. See, you got all the cool stuff. I just have one of these clip-on ones that you can't.
You need a little bit of an upgrade, Jason.
Yeah, a little bit, a small one for sure. Now that we've moved into our new apartment, we can start getting fancy stuff. So that'll be next on the list. So, as I mentioned in the green room, and everybody who has listened to our shows knows, I do not do much in the way of background checks, because I don't want it to influence the questions that I ask based on the conversations that we are having. But there is always one question that I open up with. And that question to you, Orla, is who is Orla McCarville?
I'm the New York Run Diva. Because I'm a runner, but I'm also a little bit of a diva. So that's where the New York Run Diva. Well, originally it was Long Island Run Diva because from Long Island, Queens, but then we changed when we came to Central New York. It became the New York Run Diva. So that's a little background on that. So,
were you running when you were in Long Island and Queens, or did you start running when you moved upstate?
No, I was running when I was in New York City, in Queens. It's all my boss's fault, so I kind of blame him. So I come from an office full of marathoners. So I was never a runner. Like I would run on the treadmill at the gym for years. So, but I didn't really consider myself a runner because I ran on the treadmill. Then I started working in an office and four marathoners in the office. So it's kind of their fault. They got me to do a 5K and I started training for a 5K. And I'm like, oh my God, this is really hard running outside compared to running on a treadmill. The treadmill was easy for me. And then when you start training on the pavement, I'm like, oh my God, this is so hard. I'm like, how do you guys do this? And then like I did my first 5K and I did another 5K and I signed up for another 5K. And then I started doing a 10K and like kept doing a couple more 10Ks and 5Ks. And then I graduated to the half marathon and then eventually graduated to a marathon. And now I'm training for my third marathon.
Fantastic. What was it about the phrasing or the coaxing or the manipulating that the four runners in the office, what did they say to you to get you to do the 5K?
Well, this is the thing. My boss does a 5K every year. So he's like, oh, do you run? I'm like, on the treadmill at the gym. Does that count? He's like, yeah, if you want to do like a 5K with the office. I'm like, all right, fine. 5K. I'm like, I can do that. Yeah, no. I went to a running store. I got fitted for like sneakers and sizing. I'm like asking them a bunch of questions. I'm like, literally came into a completely different world of like gear and I've graduated along the way and like I've learned things along the way of it's a completely different ball game than just going to the gym and like working out. It really is so different. And I don't think a lot of people understand that when they start running. Like all the gear that you need, and you're running outside in the heat, and you need water bottles, and you need a handheld, and then you start graduating to vest, and running. People say, oh, running's so cheap, you just get a pair of sneakers and your clothes and you just go run. Running is not cheap. Running
It's
is
not cheap.
expensive.
Yes. I
And all
just
the
put up a
gear.
blog. Yeah, I just put up a post on Instagram last week, joking that people say exactly that. Oh, running is cheap. It's free. Just get a pair of shorts, a top, and some shoes, and you go out the door. But, yeah. And then when those shoes wear out, you got new shoes. And then when the shorts wear out, you got new shorts. And then the handheld
Yeah.
isn't big enough because you got the wrong one because you don't know much about what you're supposed to get. And before you know it, you're knee deep in expenses.
I don't know how many brands of sneakers that I went through until I found the right brand for my feet, right?
That's
Because you can
it.
go to a
Yes.
running store and you know, can't remember what the machine is. They have you run on to like check and like your distance or whatever. So I was fitted fine, but like I went through so many different brands till I found the right brand
That's it.
for me, right?
Yep.
And that I didn't have it. There was one brand, I won't say who the brand is, but I actually got an Achilles injury from it and
Oh,
had to go to
wow.
PT for like 5 months because I got an Achilles injury. So, every brand's going to be different for everybody
Yep.
because some people, the arch of their foot, and some people are flat footed, right? So each brand's going to, be different. So I finally found the brand that like works for me. But sneakers are expensive. They can go up to
Yes.
like $275. And think about it, you're getting 300 miles on those sneakers, and then you have to buy another pair because if you're out doing like 25, 30 miles a week, especially in a
Yep.
marathon training cycle, you're gonna go through those pretty quickly.
Yep.
So
It's one of the questions that I see on social media that I always cringe at. And it's because people don't know what they don't know, but they always ask, what's the best running shoe? And it's like, there is no best running shoe. It's
yeah,
best for you. Go to
right.
the running shoe store, check it out, get fitted, get measured, make sure you find the right one. Because it can be an expensive endeavor to be in the wrong shoe because now you got to replace it. Plus, it could be physically harmful to you. I
Yes.
remember years ago when Ultra first came out, and I don't mind mentioning the brand's name because it's a zero drop shoe, and so you have to
Hmm.
be prepared for that. And I wore Ultra, I got less than 50 miles. I think it was like 30 miles. And I was like, I can't run in these shoes. And so that's an expensive endeavor because now they're just a pair of shoes that are there, right? Like, yes, I
Yeah.
could use them to go to the gym and stuff like that. But yeah, running is not free.
It's not. The only brand that actually really works for me is Brooks.
Uh-huh.
The first Brooks that I started running was the Ghosts. That was
Yeah.
the first ones that out. It's the Hyperion line. So I'm completely obsessed. But that's the line that works for me, right?
That's
Like
exactly right.
just because it works for me doesn't mean it's gonna work for the next person. Some people may be, Asics might be the best brand for them, or Nike may be the best brand, but the Hyperion Brooks for me is like the best shoe for my foot. It gives me the correct support, the right amount of cushioning, and especially now my feet are so different. So I deal with severe neuropathy. So I underwent chemotherapy because I had cancer
Mm-hmm.
back in, I was diagnosed in 2024. So now my feet are not the same as they were 2 years ago, right, prior to chemo. So um it's a real difference now. I need that like extra cushioning in my sneakers as well for when I'm running, because as I'm hitting the pavement, it actually, the shock to my feet, it's worse, right? So I need that extra cushioning to kind of try to prevent the neuropathy from kicking in.
Hey, we'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
I want to the difficulty today is like I got started 19, 20 years ago, right? So
Yeah.
Nike, Adidas, Brooks might have been the major brands. I don't even think there were others at that point. But nowadays, Topo Athletic, Craft Sportswear, Normal, Norda, like all of these Mount to Coast, like all of these
Oh, I was gonna
shoes.
say Mount the Coast is now coming up too. Is huge.
Yeah, all these shoes that keep Asics is out there, right? There's so many of them. And so my final word to those of you that are listening that are just getting started in these sports is please go to a run specialty store, get your
Yes.
feet measured, let them look at your gait. They're going to put you in a shoe that you didn't think of. They're going to put you in a shoe that may not have the color that you want, but trust me when I tell you, when you're running, you're not going to care about the color as long as your feet are happy and you stay healthy.
I agree. 100% agree with you.
So I want to talk about the cancer, but I want to talk about it in a way that I want you to tell the story. So up until 2024, how long had you been running already?
I started running. Well, running like out on the street and
With your
trails.
5K, we'll start with your 5K.
Yeah, 2017.
Okay, so you had been running for 7 years. And
Yep.
in that time, what was running giving you that you kept doing it for 7 years?
So I started running. Well, coworkers, right? But
Yeah.
also, I really wanted to lose weight. Like, so I was 80 pounds overweight. Want to be very frank about that. Like, and I like considered like morbidly obese, right? Because I'm 4'9". I'm short. I actually shrunk. I used to be 4'11", and they just like did my height last week, and I'm like, they're like 4'9". I'm like, no way, guys. I'm like, stop. You gotta check again. I'm like, I couldn't have. I was 4'11". How did I go down to 4'9"? I'm like, yes, as you get older, but I'm short. Okay. So some people, when they see me online, they think I'm a lot taller than I really am. And then they meet me in person. They're like, oh my God, you're really short. I was like, yes, welcome to my life. So I was really, really overweight, and I really wanted to lose the weight for my health, right? And I wanted to be the best version of myself and also
What
to live longer.
I was going to ask, so was there like, did you go to a doctor and they were talking about your weight, that you had to lose weight, or like what was the
They're
triggering
like,
point? What was the
yeah,
catalyst?
well, mostly me, like my
Okay.
mental health was being
Yeah.
like affected. Like you keep going up in sizes, and like I'm eating healthy and stuff like that. And yes, there's days like, okay, you're really busy and you're working really hard and you just don't have time, right? And we don't make that extra time to like
Yeah.
cook food at home, and then you go fast food. And like, yes, I gonna admit, yes, I was doing a lot of fast food because there was just so much in life going on. Life
Yeah.
gets
Yeah.
busy. So and it came to a point, I'm like, I'm starting, my mental health was really being affected by all the weight gain, and you keep going up in sizes, and then you're looking at yourself in your mirror and you're like, this is not the person I want to be, right? I'm like
Hmm.
so uncomfortable in my own body. So I found myself a new primary care doctor, and I voiced, I'm like, listen, I lost my dad to a heart attack, right? And my dad is a twin, and his twin died from a heart attack. And
Okay.
I didn't, they both died really young. Well, my dad's twin died very, very young. So I didn't want to be the family statistic, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't want to like take a heart attack, right? Because being overweight, right, you're going to be at a higher risk for taking a heart attack, right?
It's
Because you're not
something that you
healthy.
and I, it's something that you and I have in common. So I lost my dad a week before his 50th birthday to cancer, smoking. And so to your point, right, I didn't want to follow in that footstep. My father's lineage had a lot of people pass away from cancer. And so
Yeah.
get fit, stay fit, no smoking. So I am with you on this. I totally understand where you're coming from.
Yeah. My dad was a heavy smoker too. So my dad died 4 months after his 65th birthday. So he didn't even get to enjoy retirement. And he had cancer um, the year that he died, right? So, but he was a very heavy smoker, like 2 packs a day smoker.
Yep.
I quit smoking. I just hit 9-year anniversary. So it'll be January, this coming January will be 10 years since I quit smoking.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And, it's like it's been a journey, right? I don't drink alcohol anymore. Um, and I eat very healthy because I want to be around for a long time.
Yeah.
And I want to be healthy and I don't want to take a heart attack. And I want to be around to see my nieces and my nephews grow up, right? And
Mm-hmm.
be there for their weddings and their kids and stuff like that. So I want to be around for a long time. So I try to live this very healthy lifestyle. I rarely eat out now, very rare. I cook every single meal from home. I work out every day. I two rest days a week, but those rest days I'm doing like meditation, I'm doing
Mm-hmm.
yoga.
Yeah.
So I'm still like doing like active recovery, but I feel like it's so important to like or I'm walking. So on my rest days, I'm walking at least a
Yep.
5K.
I don't think
So
people recognize how much health you gain from walking, right? Like
okay.
it is an amazing exercise that is uber low impact.
Yep.
That just go for to your point, go for a 5K walk. You'll be done in
Yeah.
about an hour and 20 minutes at the most, and it's perfect for your mental health too, not just your
Yep.
physical health.
I say it all the time. I'm like, just go for a walk. You don't have to run. You
Yep,
don't have to cycle. Go outside. Go for a walk. It's like, and it'll help you lose weight too.
yeah,
Like
that's
it's
right.
very underestimated how much weight that you can actually lose just going out and doing a 5K every day.
Yep. Yep. And it doesn't have to be at a high level of intensity,
Right, right,
simple,
right.
easy
No, just
walks.
walking. Easy
Yep.
walking.
Yeah.
Easy walking.
And I think the mental health that you gain from walking, because life is slowing down in that moment, right?
Yep.
You're actually paying attention to your surroundings, you're seeing the things around you, you're
Yep.
bored. For those of you listening, I'm putting bored in air quotes. And that's a good thing because then your mind gets creative. It starts putting creativity in there so that you can then go home and be like, oh, yeah, I know how to take care of the task that has been daunting me for the last however long.
Yeah. And it's like like I always say, like it's your like own time, and you don't have to think about anything else. It's you can literally zone out. So when I
Yeah.
go for a walk, when I go for a bike ride, when I go for a run, that's me time, right? It's my time to like check out. It's great for my mental health. If I'm like having any anxiety or if I'm stressed out about something, out that door, get some
Yep.
sneakers on, and literally out the door, and I will feel so much better. It's crazy how calming it is just to go outside, get a run done, or get a walk in. Your mood completely changes, and it's
100%.
so underestimated. And people, as I preach this on my channel all the time, I'm like, guys, just get outside. You don't have to run. You can go and walk. It's so good for your mental health. Meditation, too. It's so
Yes.
underestimated. I meditate twice a day,
Good for
every single
you.
morning and every evening before I go to bed. I meditate. You don't have to meditate. I tell people you don't have to meditate for like 30 minutes. You can 5 minutes, 10 minutes. It completely changes
I
everything.
think I think with yoga and with meditation, people are trying to win at those things. They want to win at meditation. They want to win at yoga. And it's like
Yeah,
you don't need to compete at this. You just need to learn
not
how
at
to
all.
relax.
That's it. 5 minutes. That's all you really need, and
So
you'll have a good night's sleep too.
absolutely. You start running in '07,
Yep.
and you said you will be smoke free 10 years in 2026, so 2016. So were you running and smoking from '07 to 16?
So I used to run and smoke. Yes,
Yeah.
I
Like,
know.
so when you quit smoking, could you tell a difference? Like,
Oh, there was
was
a
it
difference.
was it immediate or it
It
took a little bit?
wasn't immediate. It took like after a couple of weeks, like I started like noticing like my breathing wasn't as bad. Um, and now, like, since I've been running for much longer, right? Like, I've learned how to breathe um, running.
Yep.
I'm still a mouth breather. I'm
Me
not
too.
like a nose. Like I'm
No.
like I'm a mouth breather runner. I'm just one of those. And I do have asthma too, so I use an inhaler
Hmm.
because depending on the weather, and also there's a difference too. Like I feel running in the heat compared to colder temperatures. I feel like my breathing's a lot better in colder temperatures than in the heat.
Did you quit smoking because you thought it would improve your running, or was this now going back to cancer and like health?
Yeah, I woke up one day and I didn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
I just
And so did
didn't.
you quit cold turkey?
No, I didn't. So, um, the way I quit was by vaping.
Okay.
And I didn't do it for a long period of time. I think it was maybe 2 or 3 months. I vaped and then I quit.
Yeah.
Like just one day. I'm like, oh, I don't want to vape. Like I used to use the flavored vape, like,
Hmm.
and that was expensive too, because then you upgrade from these like little cartridge things to like the actual one you pour the liquid in, and those like things were like $120 for these like big vapes because you make the big clouds. And I'm like, okay, this is getting like ridiculous and changing the coils and everything. So that's how I quit. Not saying that you gotta quit that way, but
Yeah,
they
no.
say
Look,
vaping is not good for you, but I did it for like 2, 3 months.
I think it's
And
the irony in us, anybody judging somebody else's process is beyond me. Like, I don't understand it. If your process was to go from cigarettes to vaping to not, who am I
yeah,
to judge you in comparison to somebody who goes from
right.
cigarettes? Like, what difference does it make in the grand scheme of things?
Right, it doesn't. Like at the end of the day, like I quit, right? And
Right,
now I'm a healthier version of
right.
myself. And sometimes we have to do what's going to be the best for us, right?
That's
Because
right.
everybody's process and procedure is always going to be different. Like I say, you don't have to do things the way I do it. Here's what I did, right?
Yeah.
This is how I train for a marathon, or this is how I cycle, or this is how I rollerblade. Just because I do it this way doesn't mean you have to do it that way. Everybody kind of figures out their own way, right?
I, yeah, because like you just told your story of how you got started because there were four
Yep.
marathoners in your office and your boss said, "Hey, I run a 5K. Would you like to join me?" And you said yes. My
Yeah.
ex-wife came home one day. She was working for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society as an attorney, and she said, "We have to run the Westchester Half Marathon." And I was like, "Who's this we? You got a mouse in your pocket? Like I'm not running. Like you're out of your
we
mind, lady." And then, I got into it, and 20 years later, I'm still doing it. And like in the grand scheme of things, the way you got started and the way I got started are two different paths, but we got to the same destination. So what difference does
right,
it make?
right, exactly.
So you quit smoking
Yep.
in 2016, and you feel your running is getting better, your health is improving. I'm going to assume, correct me if I'm wrong, but you said you were 80 pounds overweight. You started to lose weight in this time frame as well,
Yep. Some
correct?
weight.
Was your mental health clearing up too now? Like, were you seeing the world in a different way?
Yeah, so I feel like my mental health started to get a lot better once I think I had like 60 pounds off, right?
Okay.
Because then, like, you can really see the difference, right? You're like, oh, I'm going down in sizes. And then
Hmm.
you get like this boost, like, of like, oh, I feel good about myself,
Yeah,
right?
confidence. Yeah.
Yeah, the confidence changed. I'm like, oh my God, I'm getting close to what I used to wear, right? This is the size I used to be. And then um once I got down to like 70 pounds, I was like feeling really good about myself. And I'm like, okay, my running's starting to improve. My pace was dramatically getting faster, right? So like with the weight coming off, I my performance was getting a lot better, right? And it's crazy because before my cancer diagnosis, I actually ran like right before my cancer diagnosis. The 5K that I ran before it was a PR. And I actually did that like it was like a week prior. I did three 5Ks that week, and each 5K I PR'd over the next 5K. And I'm like, get out. I'm like, I just PR'd my last 5K, and then the last one I PR'd again. I'm like, this is insane. I was like, that week, each 5K, I was faster. And I was like surprised at myself. I'm like, there's no way, like 2017, I could run this
Right.
fast a 5K. So like now one of my coworkers, she's fast. She's a fast runner. So now when I say if we're gonna run, the last 5K we did, we left my boss like he's like, I can't help you guys. I was like, you're gonna pace me. And I'm like, I want to PR this race because we do it every year together. I'm like, you're gonna pace me because you're fast. And she's like, she kept saying to me the whole time, she's like, Orla, do you want me to slow down? I'm like, no, no, no. She's like, you okay? I'm like, we're good. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We left my boss in the dust.
I
We
love it.
waited for him at the finish line. He's like, you guys are too fast. But it's like, it's just like that confidence boost of like,
Yeah.
oh my God, like I have come so far in my running journey. Like I've lost all this weight. I can now run without stopping because to be honest, when I started running these 5Ks, I would have to like run a mile and I would have to stop and walk. And there's nothing wrong with it. I tell people all the time, when you start running, do the Jeff Galloway method.
That's right.
Run, walk, run, walk, run, walk. There is absolutely nothing wrong with walking because it takes time to be able to run 3 miles straight without stopping.
Correct.
Like you have to build that endurance. You're not going to just wake up one day and be like, oh, I can run 3 miles straight. No, that's not the reality.
So I'll tell you this story. So I just told you my ex-wife came home and said we have to train for this Westchester Half Marathon. So I
Yeah.
was an athlete growing up. I played baseball in the Bronx. I played high school football. I did all the
Okay.
things. And so I'm like, okay, I can do this, right? No problem. I'm an athlete. And I lived in White Plains at the time. I went to the track at the high school there and I ran 400 meters and I thought I was going to die. I was like, you have got, right? So then I walked 400 meters. I
Yeah.
ran the next 400 meters and I walked 400 meters. I went home. After a mile, I was like, I did
You're
it. I
done.
ran a mile. Like, look at me. I did a mile. Right. So now multiply that by 3. That was like, are you crazy? Like a 5K? No chance. Multiply that by 13. Like, how is this ever going to happen? And so I like people, when you first get started in these sports, unless you're a born natural, which 99% of us are not,
Right.
it's going to take time to build up to those distances. And
Yep.
the beauty is the confidence you gain all along the way, even if there are setbacks. What I want to ask you is, the confidence from losing the weight, getting the PRs at the 5K, doing the first 5K, how did that translate to away from the running course? How did that translate to personal life, office life? Like, how did you see yourself more confident walking, the streets of Queens back then?
I feel a lot more confident now than
Like
back
today?
then. Yeah, today, yeah.
Okay, tell me why
A
today
lot.
and not then when you first started.
Well, no, I wasn't confident back then. Like I just felt like I wasn't like an athlete. Yes, I went to the gym and did weights and stuff, and I used to do hit classes, and that's a completely different ball game
Yep.
than going out to run a 5K. It's hard to describe, but it's just so different going to like spin classes and hit because I did that. I went to the gym. I had a personal trainer. It's not like I didn't work out. I used to go on the treadmill. I could run on the treadmill for like an hour, not a problem. But like going out to run a 5K and do that like 3 miles without stopping is hard. It
Mm-hmm.
really is hard. And I would go and I would run, and I maybe run 2/10 of a mile, and then I would have to stop, and I would be winded and my legs were sore. And the first mile is a liar, I always say. The first mile is a liar, because even to this day, I say the first mile is a liar. And I'm like, I'm half asleep. I don't want to do this. And after you pass that first mile, then your legs are like, okay, I'm awake now. I can do this. But I used to, like, I hated it. I didn't enjoy running at all. Now I'm obsessed, right? Like, I need it for my mental health. Like, I'm like, I need to run. I need to do this. I need to get a long run done. I need to be on a training plan. I need to do this. Back then, no, just to go run 3 miles, I'm like, oh my God, I was yelling at myself in my head the whole
Yes.
way,
Yes.
complaining, not confident. I'm like thinking of what people driving by were thinking, looking at me like, oh, look at this girl trying to run, and she's
Yep.
running, then she's walking. Like, you have absolutely no confidence, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't look like an athlete, right?
You don't feel like one either when you first get
You
started.
and you don't feel like one, 100%. I didn't feel like one because I wasn't an athlete. I didn't consider myself an athlete. And the confidence starts to come later, right? As
Yeah.
you start to build and you're able to go further. And once you know how it felt to be able to, like, run a mile straight without stopping? I'm like, oh my God, I just did that? Seriously? Me? Little old me? I ran a mile without. And yes, you're literally cheering yourself on because you're like, I can't believe I did that. And the excitement over running a mile straight without stopping
Yep.
felt amazing.
Yep.
And then to be able to do a 5K without stopping,
Yeah.
it's an unbelievable feeling. And it's so underestimated. People are like, oh, well, you didn't run a marathon without stopping. Like, people get so hung up on this stuff, and
Yes.
it makes other runners, people, not want to get into this sport because they feel like they're going to be looked down upon, right? Because
Correct. Correct.
you had to stop and you had to walk. And I feel as a community that we need to all support everybody, no
Hmm.
matter what the distance is, right? Not everybody has to run a marathon, right? Let's clap for everybody just to get out and do a 5K, because I feel that's like a huge accomplishment as well.
Yeah. Because look, here's the reality is somebody else's accomplishment doesn't detract from yours. But I
Yeah.
feel that that's what happens in our community. Like, and I'm going to use the Boston Marathon because I just had
Mm,
Shanita Lancaster on the show last week discussing Black Unicorn marathoners. And so I want to use Boston as the example here. And
okay.
she pointed out that she did not qualify for Boston. She went through a charity bid, right? There was earlier this year, there was a woman on social media who was like, I deserve that bid over the person who's doing a charity, and I get up at 4 a.m. and blah, 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 blah. And the
Oh, yeah.
reality is, one, you don't deserve anything, right? No, like this is not how that works. Just because you have an alarm set for 4 a.m. doesn't mean you automatically get something.
Oh, yeah. I saw that. It was circulating all over
Circulating,
social
yeah.
media. Yeah.
And so I just think about, like, I think that people get hung up on the identity of being a marathoner. And if somebody finishes a marathon in 5, 6, 7 hours, that somehow it detracts from their 3 hour, 3.5 hour, 4 hour marathon.
Yeah.
And it doesn't. Like, it doesn't even come close because you're both runners, you're both finishing the
Yeah.
distance. We should be celebrating each other. You just happen to do it faster than the other person. That's it. Like, there's
Right.
no other,
I agree.
there's nothing else there. And I just think that we get hung up in the identity of all of this stuff, and that somehow Orla's finishing time has an impact on my finishing time, which clearly it doesn't.
Right. And it's upsetting too, because, like, I'm like, everything, it shouldn't be about pace, right? Um, because if I was ever gonna do Boston, it would be on a charity bid, right? I'm not
Yeah,
fast
same.
enough.
Me
I,
neither.
I'm I wouldn't qualify for Boston. There's no way I would qualify for Boston. And that's okay, right?
Yep,
It's
yep.
not a goal for me anyway. But Like I'm running New York City for charity, right? So, but I always say, I'm like, forget about pace. It should not matter. Um, it's always getting across that finish line is the biggest
Huge,
thing. It's huge.
huge.
Just finishing. Who cares about the time?
Yeah, like, so as we're recording this right now, the people that are running Western States 100 are 7 hours into the event. It started at 5 a.m. It's noon here on the
Wow.
West Coast. They're 7 hours into this. The finishers will probably finish in the next 7 to 8 hours, and then you're going to have people finishing 25 hours from now, and
Yep.
they're going to both cross that same finish line on the track in Auburn, and they're both going to be Western States finishers.
Yeah.
That's it. I have a buckle for Western States. Somebody today is going to get a
Awesome.
buckle who finishes in 20 hours, and somebody's going to finish in 30 hours. And our buckle is going to be the same. And we're alumni. And that's how I perceive it. We're alumni.
Right. I agree. I want to be an ultra runner. I wanted to do my first ultra this year. That was last year's goal. I'm like, next year, things got a little sidetracked this year. So no ultra this year, but it is on the calendar for next year.
There is one in the Finger Lakes region of New York, and I will have to send it to you. But I was told it by, her name is Shannon. It's Be Short Run Ultra is her handle, and she has a
Okay.
video. She has a YouTube channel and Twitter and Instagram and all that stuff. But Shannon told me about this, and it's a 100K distance in the Finger Lakes region, and it looked absolutely stunning. And being from New York, the Finger Lakes region is just absolutely gorgeous. And then I could always go to the Baseball Hall of Fame afterwards too.
Goals.
I want to get back to your story here.
Yeah.
And because I was trying to set it up so that we could understand what was happening between 2016 when you quit smoking and for the next 8 years, when in 2024, as you mentioned, you get diagnosed with cancer.
Yeah.
So walk me through the scenario of I'm losing weight, I'm running, I'm getting healthy, to the diagnosis that you have cancer. Like, how does your world change? How does running take part in this world now? Like, what happens at that point?
Yeah. So I'm starting to lose weight. And I started to do, I don't know if you're familiar with the 9+1 program with
Yes.
New York Road Runners, right? So I'm like, I'm going to run my first marathon. I've already done 3 half marathons by then. So I started training I did the 9+1. I got in, and I'm supposed to run New York City Marathon 2020. COVID happened.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, the marathon was canceled, and they ended up canceling a bunch of races that I was like signed up for. Supposed to do the United Airlines half, was training for that. That got canceled. Ended up doing it virtually. So I ran it virtually with one of my friends on Long Island at a park, and we just did loops of the park. We got it done. I ended up running New York City virtually, and it was freezing cold because I decided to run it right next to a lake, right? Yeah, really smart. I said, so little story. I said, I'm never doing that ever again, right? It was cold. What did I do? I ran another marathon, but in person. I ran the Great New York State Marathon. And of course, around a lake.
Where is that?
Central New York, Syracuse.
Yeah.
So of course, here I am. It's literally, it's a half marathon loop. So you basically loop the lake twice. So you start really early, so it's like cold, but then it starts to get warm because the sun starts to come out. So
Yeah.
you start cold, and then you start having to take layers off. So that was my second marathon. Then I was supposed to run Buffalo, and
When do they run that?
so So this is a crazy thing. So I ran the Great New York State Marathon in 2024. I ran it a month before I was diagnosed.
Okay.
So I was like, this is crazy. I actually had like cancer in my body. Here
Yeah.
I trained for a marathon. So I was having some like weird symptoms while I was training. So I thought I just like chalked it up to, okay, I'm just training in, it's like August, it's hot in September, you're hot, you're sweating, you're out there for like 12 to 18 miles, you're sweating a lot, whatever. So I chalked it up to just training and being in sweaty clothes and whatever. I did the marathon, finished, and then literally the next month I was diagnosed with breast cancer. Um, so I was already scheduled to run the Buffalo Marathon, which was for May of 2025.
Okay.
And when I met with the whole oncology team, I was like, well, am I going to be able to?
Of
They
course.
looked at me and they probably thought, she is absolutely crazy. Because me, all I thought about, I wasn't even thinking about my cancer. I was literally thinking about, well, I'm supposed to run a marathon. Am I
Right. Why wouldn't
like,
you? You're a runner.
this is what's on my mind. Well, am I going to be able to run my marathon? And like, they're like, you're going to go through chemo. Okay. 6 rounds of chemo. And then I had 18 rounds of immunotherapy and I had to have surgery and 19 rounds of radiation. But here I am thinking, all I could think about is, well, is this going to interrupt my training for a marathon?
Yes.
That
Runner.
was my whole, right. So they're like, well, we encourage, exercise, and it's actually, you do better with chemo if you're exercising stuff. I'm like, okay, cool, cool, cool. All right. So I was like, all right, I still plan to like train and do the Buffalo Marathon, but chemo had another plan for my body. So I wasn't able to like fully train. Now, did I run a race after each chemo? Oh, yes, I did. Yes, I did. Because every single infusion, the nurse is like, oh, what are you doing this weekend? I'm like, oh, I'm running like a 10-mile trail race this tomorrow. They're like, you're doing what? I was like, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. And they're like, no, you're not. I'm like, oh, you haven't met me yet, honey. Because I got like a new nurse every single treatment. So they have so many, right? So I was literally scheduled. I was either doing like a 5K or a 10K, or I did one of my infusions. I did a 10-mile trail race, and I was doing a race every single infusion
Mm-hmm.
because I was like still like, they give you a lot of steroids. So like I was still feeling good the next day after treatment. So but after that, forget about it. I was in bed for days. So it really did impact training, and because I was on chemo every 3 weeks.
Okay.
So it was hard to feeling good and then feeling horrible, where I couldn't be in like a training cycle to be able to
Right.
get the adequate amount of training miles in, just because I felt so shitty. And by the time you started to feel better, you're back to having another infusion.
Right. Makes sense.
So yes, I was like doing some running in between each. When I was feeling good, I would go for a run, but when I wasn't feeling good, I couldn't run and I was like in bed, like suffering. Um, but yeah, so I wasn't able to Buffalo. So I was like, all right, Buffalo, you're not happening, which I want to do because it's flat and fast.
So, but mentally, right? When Buffalo is not happening, did your mind was your mind like, yeah, it's not happening, but you have cancer, or like it's okay to not worry about this race? Like what's that like?
Oh no,
Because
I was very upset.
okay,
Like mentally, I was like, because I wanted to get like another marathon under my belt. And it was just like a personal goal for me. And because I was like, okay, I want to do, because like my last marathon, I was having GI issues. So I didn't, because I was like on such a good training cycle and I did so well during my training cycle and I had a goal for myself and it was just a personal goal, right? And then I wanted Buffalo because it's like flat and fast. Like
Yeah.
the Great New York State Marathon, you're like hills, like up and down, like hills, right? So I really wanted, I was like, oh, flat and fast. This is great, right? I love flat. I'm not really a hill person. I do hills. I complain about hills, but hills make you stronger.
Yes, they
But
do.
I will complain. I complain. Every time I'm doing hills with my friends, I complain. But I just wanted, I'm like, oh, no hills. Buffalo's going to be flat. So, but I was mentally like upset because it was hard to go through treatment and mentally dealing with all the side effects
Right.
because chemo is brutal.
Mhm.
I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I lost all my hair and weight. I think it was like 20 or 25 pounds on because they pump you with so much steroids.
Mhm.
So like your body starts to change, right? And I just lost all this weight. I was at a goal weight, so it started to affect mentally, and then
Mhm.
not being able to run like I used to. So like I feel like a big like setback, and I'm like, and then I started getting neuropathy in my hands and my feet. So like burning and tingling, it like feels like stabbing pains in my feet. So it really starts to like impact your mental health when you go out for a run and you're a mile in and you're in like excruciating pain
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
and you're like, wow, I can't go and run like 8 miles,
Mhm.
you know, or go run 10 miles or go run a 5K and feel good about yourself when you already got your body to be at a certain level and now you have this setback. And it's hard, like mentally, to deal with that. Like there's days that I go out and run now and like it's mentally it's hard for me because there's days that I have really bad days and I'm just
Yeah.
like in excruciating pain. I did like a half marathon like 2 months ago. I thought I wasn't going to finish the last 4 miles. I was in such excruciating pain. My feet and my body was just so sore. But like I mentally pushed through because I wanted it that bad.
Okay. I was gonna ask, like, what's getting you through those excruciating moments where the pain feels unbearable, but you're still getting through it? Like, what gets you to that? Is it just purely internal drive?
Yeah, it's internal drive mentally. Like I feel like your mind can really push you to do anything you want to do.
Yeah,
Like
100%.
if you tell your mind, don't give up, keep going one more mile. So anytime I'm always like, this is my little slogan in my head. I always say, one more mile, one more mile. I take everything a mile at a time.
Yes.
And I always say,
Yes.
one more mile, one more. I don't think if, say I have like 6 more miles to go, I don't say 6 more miles. I say one more mile,
Yep.
one more mile. And that's literally how I get through runs.
I was asked once how do I run 100 miles, and I said I don't run 100 miles, so I can't answer that question. I run 1 mile 100 times, and I can answer that question for you because you
Yeah.
just have to stay within the moment that you are in instead of thinking further on down the road. Correct me if I'm wrong. Did you say that you have been you're now cancer free, or am
I
I,
am.
you are cancer free? Congratulations,
Yes.
that's
Thank
fantastic
you.
news. But you are still dealing with pain today.
Oh, yeah.
And is that lingering from the radiation and the chemo that you went
Yeah.
through? Yeah.
It's lingering from all the treatments.
Yeah.
Who knows? It could be years, right? It's hard to tell because every patient's going to be different.
Mm-hmm.
So could this linger for a few more months? Could it linger for another 10 years? It's unknown. Like I took some very intense chemotherapy drugs, but after I finished chemo, I did something called immunotherapy, which is targeted drugs.
Okay.
So there was 18 of those as well. So I had like a year and a half of treatment. I was diagnosed a couple of months ago. They said I am NED, which is it's basically no evidence of disease.
Okay.
So I don't know. They say cancer free. Yeah. Well, yes, technically, but like
Right.
you're just showing no evidence of disease, right? But for the next 5 years, you're monitored. So every 6 months, I have scans, and because the next 5 years is when your cancer can come back.
Okay.
So we don't know.
And I want to go back to the question and answer about getting through those last 4 miles of your most recent half marathon when you were in excruciating pain. Do you think that also the idea of I've gotten through cancer, I've gotten through to this point where I am at NED now, helps you to say to yourself, this is running. Like you can get through this too, right? Because you've done something harder.
I don't know. Me, I'm just I don't like I it's like I try not to like think of the cancer. Like, yes, I think of it, right? Like I'm always like,
Right.
oh, is my cancer gonna come back, right? They're like tell me
Right.
no evidence of disease, but like I'm like there's always that in the back of your mind, like, okay, is it going to come back tomorrow? Is it gonna come back in 6 months? Um we call it scanxiety. So anytime you have a scan, you have anxiety because of a
Mm-hmm.
scan, and then the waiting for your scan results are like, oh God, did they find something? Like my last scan, like literally I was like having like a panic attack because like the girls like going over and over and like, okay, this is a little different from the last time. So like your brain like
Right.
starts to
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
really go like, oh my God, they saw something on the mammogram, and because after mammogram they do ultrasound, and then like they're like, okay, going over, and then you literally start your mind goes a mile a minute until like they tell you results, and you get your results like a few days later. But it's like stressful like every time having to have a scan because you don't know, is your cancer back? Am
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
going to go down this path again? But now with running, it's just like I run to literally just free my mind.
Yeah. I love that idea, right? The idea of running to just free your mind as opposed to filling it up with paces and distances and medals and finishes
Yeah.
and races and everything. It's literally there to help you clear yourself out so that you can take on other things in life. Because I think, and we talked about running as being an identity earlier, I think that sometimes we lose that sight that running is intended to be fun, running is intended to clear our minds, running is intended to help our health, and we put so much pressure on ourselves to hit because I have to upload to Strava or I have to post it to Instagram or TikTok, right? That we put this pressure on ourselves, and we're focused on what's my Instagram with the Strava overlay going to look like when I'm done? Like, and it's like, just go
Yeah.
run, just go run.
Yeah. Like I post all like I do stories every day, and I do like reels and like post, and I'm out there running, but I also try to use my platform to show all the other cancer patients and warriors and survivors and people who are battling cancer right now, to let them know this is possible and to not give up, because a lot of people lose hope, right? And I understand that because I was so down going through treatment. I'm like, oh my God, is my body not going to be able to do this? Am I not going to be able to run? And on the days when I wasn't able to run, it was so hard, right? To be like laying in bed and not being able to get up and put your gear on and get out the door because you're suffering from the side effects. And I want people to know that there's going to be good days and there's going to be bad days, and take it with stride, and give yourself grace.
Your story, and we have a friend of the community, Birdie, who has MS, and she talks
Mhm.
about running and getting through the hard days and doing the hard things. And athletes like yourself and Birdie are why I love doing this show and having these conversations, because I think that there are so many people out there that think that they can't until they're shown that they can. And you are
Right.
leading by example. Birdie is leading by example. My wife, who deals with AS, is leading by example. It's too important to not have your stories out there. So thank you for sharing what you were
Mhm.
sharing with us, because I just think that this is what running is supposed to be about, right?
Yeah.
Like, we can talk about, oh, I ran 2,000 miles this year, or 1,000 miles this year, or I qualified for Boston, or I finished Western States, and all of those are nice to haves.
Yeah.
The thing that is a must have with running is the understanding that this is bringing me enjoyment and health and community and connection. Like, you
Yeah.
are now part of the family, right? Like, I didn't know Orla a month ago, and now I know Orla, and I know that her husband and I went to college at Oswego, and we've eaten at the same sub shop, and Orla eats at the same sub shop too. Like, that to me is everything about this sport.
Yeah.
It's cool if we run, finish a race together. That's cool. It really
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
But this is what's cool, is being able to connect with people and learn from them. And one day I'm going to have a hard time on a run, and I'm going to think about this conversation, and I'm going to say to myself, Orla ran a half marathon and was in excruciating pain for the last 4 miles. You can do this. Like,
Yeah.
that's the example, and it's why I love having these conversations. We're bumping up on time, and I want to be respectful of your time, since I have screwed up
Yeah.
the whole Pacific Standard Time and Eastern Standard Time already today. New York Run Diva. It's at New York Run Diva on Instagram, and you also have a website. Is it NewYorkRunDiva.com?
It is.
Awesome. I will put it in the show notes. But before I let you go,
Yeah.
you told me that your last name is pronounced Carvel, like the ice cream.
McCarville.
Yep.
Like
And
like Carvel ice cream, but not
right.
spelled the same.
And I grew up with Carvel ice cream. And
Me
are
too.
you a Fudgy the Whale fan or a Cookie
No.
Puss fan?
I do like Carvel ice cream. You know what? I love Carvel's cakes. Their ice
Yes.
cream cakes.
The best. The
So
crunchies,
good, right?
the cookie crunchies. Oh,
Yes. Isn't
can't be
it
beat.
so good?
Like, they're phenomenal. They are phenomenal. Like, anybody who's listening, they do sell them across the country at grocery stores. Go find yourself a Carvel ice cream cake. You will not be
Yeah.
disappointed.
So good. So good.
Are you willing to answer a few more questions that are all food
Yes.
related?
Yeah,
Sweet.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I love to eat.
Yeah, me too. That's why I love this part of the show. I should be hosting a food show as opposed to a running
You
podcast.
might have to start a food podcast.
I mean, well, I know I have my first guest because you will already join me.
Yeah.
Pineapple on pizza, yay or nay?
Oh, yes.
What? You're from
100%.
New York
I'm from
City.
New York. I need a Hawaiian slice.
All right, let me ask you this. Pineapple on pizza is a yay, but does it because it has to have like Canadian bacon or some sort of ham product, pork product,
Yes.
or jalapeno, right?
Yeah.
So bear with me here. This is what I always tell anybody who says that they love pineapple on pizza. And I ask them that question, they're like, oh, it has to have all of these other things. I would say, you don't really like pineapple on pizza. You like this combination. It's not
Yeah.
like, would you literally just put pineapple on a slice of pizza?
No, I'd probably add some ham because
Yeah,
I
see?
need that like Hawaiian slice. I don't know. Maybe because I just grew up with like loving Hawaiian slices.
Okay.
So good.
Even in Queens, or was that something that happened when
Even
you
in
went upstate?
Queens. No, Queens.
I'm gonna have to have a talk with the family over there.
But we still have to have the original.
Yeah, you gotta.
That's
2
it.
slices and a can of Diet Coke or Coke for $3.50.
Yes. You ain't getting that anymore.
Nah. I always, like, when I was growing up, and even to this day, I always call it walk around pizza, right? Because there's always somebody on the streets got a paper plate, grease is running down their elbow, and they're
And
just
a
walking
quart of
around.
water. I gave everybody a hint to my age.
I love it. I love it. Okay. Your favorite chocolate candy is?
Ooh, Snickers.
Yeah, it really satisfies.
Or hold on. You may not know this. Lion bars. It's
Oh,
like
what's that?
So it's like a European chocolate bar. It has like all these nuts in it. So it's huge in Ireland, and I grew up eating them. They're called Lion bars. So if you have like an Irish grocery store near you that sells like Irish products, like Wegmans. I don't know if you have a Wegmans, but Wegmans carries some Irish products, and they actually have Lion
I'll
bars.
have to
They're
look.
so good.
Your favorite non-chocolate candy is?
Oh my God. Sorry. Chemo brain. Oh my God. They come in all different colors, like pink and yellow.
Starburst?
There we go.
Yes, Starburst is fantastic. And
That's
they make jelly beans, which are fantastic too. Starburst jelly beans are good.
I don't like jelly beans.
That's
No
okay.
to the jelly beans.
More than welcome to not enjoy jelly beans. Your favorite flavor of ice cream is?
Vanilla.
Straight vanilla, like Breyers, old school Breyers out of the pint. Remember those?
Yes. Yep. Vanilla.
It's so good. Your favorite type of cake is?
Oh, chocolate.
Straight chocolate. Chocolate on chocolate?
Chocolate with some vanilla ice cream.
Okay. Is red velvet cake a real flavor, or is it just chocolate cake dressed up to go to the prom?
I guess it's real flavor. I guess we'll give it real. I don't eat velvet, but
it's a real flavor if you get it at a bakery. It is dressed up to go to the prom if you get it at Wegmans, because they're just making chocolate sheet cake with red food dye.
That's true. That's true. I agree with you.
Okay, last question for you. A tray of brownies has come out of the oven. It's cooled enough so that you can actually cut it. Are you going to go to the corner, the edge, or the center for the ooey gooey?
Oh, dead center.
Are you?
And
so let me ask you this:
ice cream on top.
Are you taking the spatula and going right to the middle to hell with the mess that creates around the edges?
Yeah, I'm going right in the middle.
Straight fork.
I make a mean ass brownie.
Okay, is it just straight chocolate, or do you put nuts, or like tell me this?
No, there's nuts. 100%. Lots of nuts. And I also add a lot of chocolate chips inside too.
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah, I make a mean. Now, if my husband hears this, he's gonna be like, "I heard brownies. Is she making brownies tonight?"
He's already running to Wegmans to get the vanilla ice cream.
Oh no, we always have that stocked in this house.
Yes, my people.
This house is fully stocked because my husband's best friend, since they're diapers, like literally, he's always over, and they stay over. They party all night. They stay up until like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. But let me tell you, his friend, when he comes to this house, you know where he goes? The first place he goes is to the kitchen. And he knows where everything is. And I'm like, just help yourself. He's like, did you bake anything? Oh, yeah. Like, he coming over. There's always something freshly baked. I just made bread yesterday.
Ooh.
And yeah. So I made bread yesterday. I'm going to make some dessert tonight for this dessert with dinner. Every dinner, we have dessert because we have to treat ourselves.
Yes. We only get one shot at this life. We better enjoy it while we're here.
Exactly. And I work out.
Yeah.
So I deserve to have some dessert.
Enjoy it. Enjoy it to the high heavens.
Exactly.
Orla, thank you so much for joining me on this Fireside Chat. It has been a pleasure to get to know you. We're going to have to do this
Yes.
again real soon. By
Yes,
the way,
definitely.
I will be in touch with you no matter what, but we're going to
Yes.
be in New York City for the marathon as well. So we got to make sure we hook up down there.
Yes, yes, yes. And have some hot apple pie with vanilla ice cream on top.
Did you see that McDonald's has brought back the fried apple pie?
No, get out. Seriously?
Yeah, they brought, the one that you couldn't bite because you'd have to eat it like,
Yeah. So you could get that, right? And you know what I love about McDonald's? Their sundaes with
Yes.
chocolate fudge. That's my
Yes.
jam. That is my jam. Chocolate fudge sundaes at McDonald's. I could
I
eat that
feel
every
you.
single day. Every day.
We'll,
I could have
we
that.
will have a meetup in New York City at the McDonald's for sure.
Yes. Let's do that with some pie and vanilla
That's
sundae.
it. Thanks, Orla. I'll see you soon.
Okay, thanks, Jason. Take
Bye.
care. Okay.
That was fantastic. If you couldn't tell that she was from New York, the one time when she went, cool, 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 that's a New York thing, okay? Pay attention, people. We are New York City through and through. Thank you so much for joining us on this Fireside Chat. I hope you enjoyed getting to know Orla as much as I did. Come back next week when we have the Low Tide Boys on, where we talk swim run, which is not an event that often gets talked about, but it is fascinating, and I can't wait to have the Low Tide Boys on next week. I will see you around on the next Fireside Chat on the Everyday Athlete Podcast Network. Have a great one, everybody.